Hello everyone, welcome to our YouTube channel Electronics Maddie. In this video, I'm going to demonstrate simulation of 9-level modular multi-level converter in MATLAB Simulink. In case you haven't subscribed to our channel, please do subscribe to it so that you'll be getting the videos that we post regularly. Alright, let's get into our topic for today. This is the configuration of a modular multi-level converter. This is shown with respect to three-phase. However, I'll be simulating it with respect to single phase. Here, if you carefully observe, we're giving a DC input voltage and we're getting an AC output voltage. So this is quite similar to that of a multi-level inverter where we had levels of output voltages. However, we have something called as chopper cells. So these are submodules which is represented as chopper cells. So what are these? These basically contains two switches connected in parallel with a capacitor. So capacitor will be connected across these two switches connected in series. So these are the submodules, and how do we build such a big circuit? It looks very big, so we have to be very careful while simulating them. Even a small mistake will throw you a lot of errors and it is very difficult to debug. So I'll be going step by step very slowly so that you'll be able to understand the circuit. So just to give you an indication of how the output waveform looks like, so this is the 9-level output of a modular multi-level converter. If you carefully observe, you're getting 9 levels of output voltages, and with respect to 7 level and 5 level, I've done directly with respect to multi-level inverter, so that is a different circuit altogether. Just that I wanted to give you an example of a modular multi-level converter. I'm doing it with respect to 9 level. So all right, let's go to MATLAB and start our. Alright, here we are in MATLAB Simulink. At the first place, we'll be requiring a PowerGuve block. So search for PowerGuve and add this. This is basically the compiler that we are using in the circuit. So if you're not using this and running the simulation, it will be throwing an error. That is, all the models are untitled and all the blocks that are there in the model cannot be evaluated. So that is a very important block with respect to the simulation aspect. So add that. You can use a MOSFET or IGBT. I'll be going on with MOSFET. So that is used as a switch in this case. Add this block as well. Once this is done, we'll be requiring a series RLC branch. Search for series RLC branch and add that block as well. So once all of these blocks are added, now let us place them in appropriate positions in this particular fashion, and double click on this, disable the measurement port because we are not using them. So having that will again lead us to a lot of confusion. So once that is disabled, let us connect them in this particular fashion, and we'll be using a capacitor. Rotate this and choose the value of capacitor to be equal to 100 microfarad. So once that is done, you can try it out for different values as well. So I'm just going on with a random design procedure with respect to the capacitor value. So once this is done, I will be copy pasting this and paste this right at the bottom in this particular fashion. So I will be connecting the end point of this circuit to the middle point of this circuit, just to ensure that they are connected in a particular fashion according to the sequence that is shown in the configuration. So again, copy paste the second level of the block that is there, and copy that underneath, and it should be connected in this particular fashion. So ensure that it is connected to this point by zooming in. So we'll be requiring 8 such blocks. So take the tapping from this point. That can be done by clicking on Control R and or Control and then press on that particular point where you want the tapping from. So once that is done, again we will be copy pasting these blocks one underneath the other. So be very careful while connecting this. If you go wrong anywhere, and the entire output will change drastically, and it is very difficult to figure out where the error is also from. So we'll do one thing. Let us copy paste this block alone, and let us paste that underneath it. So we have 5, we have 6 now, and we will be requiring another couple of them. So copy paste. So we have 6 now. So we'll be copy pasting this underneath this. So select these and bring it at this position, and again copy paste this and place this underneath this. Now let us zoom in the portion where we want to connect the circuit. So again we'll be following the same pattern, from this point connected to this point, and from this point connected to this point, and from this point connected to this point, the end of the point where the capacitor is connected to the middle of the switches that is there. So this is basically half bridge configuration. If you have 4 switches connected with a capacitor, that is called as full bridge. So I am building this using half bridge chopper cells. So these individual modules that are there, these are called as chopper cells. So now what we will be doing is, we have one set of module. We basically call them as upper leg and lower leg. So this is the lower leg, and now we'll be doing it for upper leg. How do we do that? Copy paste, and we'll be having exact configuration on the other side. in this particular fashion. So once this is done, we will be requiring a pulse generator block. I'm not getting into the working aspect of the circuit because it is again takes a lot of time with respect to explaining the working. In case you want me to explain the working, I'll be doing that in another video. So once that is done, I will be requiring a pulse generator block. Search for pulse generator and add that block as well. Apart from that, we will be requiring a logical operator which will later be converted to a NOT gate. Search for logical operator and add this block. Search for logical operator again, add this block, and I'll be placing this in appropriate position so that we can trigger them easily. Double click on this and choose NOT gate because we're using NOT gate. So why is a NOT gate used? I'll tell you. So now double click on the pulse generator block and set the time period to be equal to 20 milli. So this is the overall time period that is chosen with respect to the circuit. So what should be the pulse width? It should be 50%, just to ensure that 50% of the time this switch should be on and it should be off for the other 50%. When this is off, this should be on. That is why we'll be using a NOT gate. So I hope the logic is understood. So let us assume the phase delay to be equal to 4 into e power minus 3, 4 milli. So we'll be giving some delay for each of the pulse generator block in a specified sequence, just like the way I explained for a multi-level inverter circuit. For 5 level I have explained one video, and there I have explained with respect to switching pattern and all. So similar to that, but the working totally changes, hence the pulse delay with respect to the circuit also changes. So I am connecting this between this point, and this is given to a NOT gate, and we are triggering the other switch in this particular fashion. Once this is done, so we have to do another portion of the circuit, that is with respect to the upper bridge that is here. So connect this from this point. From the NOT gate, it should be to the upper leg of the switch, and from the normal point where the pulse generator is there, you have to give it to the lower level of the bridge. So this is the sequence in which we have to connect them. So first bridge, the first half bridge, the chopper cell that is there, we have constructed for that. We have to repeat the same for all the other models as well. So be very careful, do it slowly, take a lot of time with respect to it. So the pulse generator block values again change with respect to individual circuits. Now it will be 3. So I'll be going in a decreasing order up to 1. So now it will be 3. I'll be connecting it to this particular block just to ensure that all of the switches does not conduct at the same time, so that we'll be getting a multi-level output. Connecting at this point, and once that is done, so we can double click and ensure all the other parameters are same, so only the phase delay is changed. And I'll be connecting the output from this point to the upper leg, and from this I'll be connecting it to this particular portion of the pulse generator block. So once this is done, I'll be requiring another pulse generator block. So copy paste this. You can label them as well, so based on the requirement. So I'll be setting a phase delay of 2. So set 2 milliseconds and connect it to this particular block. I'll be using a NOT gate in order to trigger the lower one. So use a NOT gate connected to this particular block. So once this is done, take the tapping from this point, give it to the upper leg, connect this from this position and give it to the pulse generator block in this particular fashion. Take the tapping from here. Ensure that they are not connected to any other junctions, like there should be no node formation anywhere else while you are connecting. And at times MATLAB forms nodes without our knowledge, so be very very careful while connecting them. So we will be requiring a pulse generator block again. So double click on this and set the phase delay to 1. So as I told you, I am gone in a decreasing sequence up till this point. So once this is done, I'll be using a NOT gate at this point, and I'll be connecting it to this switch. I hope by now you would have understood the pattern in which I'm switching them. So connect it to the upper leg of the switch. From the lower leg, connect it to the pulse generator block. Again, be very careful so that there is no node formation, additional node formation. You can cross verify that. So it is directly connected at this point, and this is also directly connected at this point over here. So you can drag and see if there is any other node formation. So here there is a node formation, nevertheless it is with respect to the switch, so nothing to worry over there. So once that is done, we will be copy pasting this pulse generator block again. Now double click on this pulse generator block, and we will be going from 9 milliseconds phase delay. Again, we'll be going in a decreasing order, 9, 8, 7, 6. So that is the pattern in which we'll be connecting these switches. So the phase delay will decide how much time the switch has to wait for it to start its conduction. So I'm connecting between these 2 points. I'm taking the tapping from this and I'm giving it to this block. Again, I'm taking the tapping from this and I'm giving it to this block. So once this is done, so be very careful with respect to it. And once this is done, I'll be requiring another pulse generator block. So double click on this and I'll be changing the phase delay to be equal to 8 milli now. As I told, I'm going in a decreasing order. So connect this and I will be connecting it to this point directly. And from this point, NOT gate, I'll be giving it to the other switch that is there over here. So again, from this point, I'll be taking the tapping, giving it to the upper leg of the switch, and from the lower leg, I'll be taking and I'll be giving it to this point. So you can take, drag and drop at this point and then connect it to this, or you can directly connect at that point. So again, we'll be requiring a pulse generator block and I'll be giving it to this particular region, and I'll be using a NOT gate. Double click on this. So let us double check if this value is changed to 8. Yes, it has changed. So now this should be 7. So enter 7 and be very careful. The reason why I'm being very careful is even if you do a small mistake, the entire circuit operation will change and you'll not be getting the right output. So that is why I'm emphasizing so much on that. So the pulse width reason, I hope you would have understood now why 50%, because if you're using 50%, it is very convenient for us to analyze the circuit, so that this will be on and when this is on, this will be off. So that is the pattern in which we're doing it. So that will be convenient for us to decide the switching pattern. So again, we'll be connecting this from this point to this point. Again, scroll a little down. We'll be requiring another pulse generator block. Connect it between this block and I'll be using a NOT gate and I will be connecting it over here. So connect it at this point, and from here I'll be taking a tapping, I'll be connecting it here. Again, from here I'll be taking a tapping, I'll be connecting it here. Double click on this and I will be giving a phase delay of 6 milliseconds now. So click on OK. So the pattern of the phase delay is understood, I guess. So over here we started off with 1 2 3 4. Again from here 6 7 8 9. So that is the pattern in which we have connected them. Now what we want, now what are the other values that we want. Now again, let us copy paste the entire circuit. Let us move them, let us not copy paste, let us move them to this particular region. And now let us search for a DC voltage source. Search for DC voltage and you'll be getting it over here. Choose the ones that are there in black, because the blue ones are used for signals and systems and digital signal processing application. So what I'll be doing is I will be enlarging this with a larger size so that we can see the circuit clearly. So how to enlarge, just there'll be a feature that is available to enlarge this as big as possible. We can do it so we can see the DC voltage source uh, at least in a proper way. That is the reason why I'm doing this. So once this is done, where will I connect this DC voltage source at? So connect it at this point with respect to the upper leg, and the first half bridge that is there with respect to upper leg, connect it to the center point over here and double click on this. Set the value to be equal to 100. We are not making any changes with respect to it. So we'll be requiring another DC voltage source. So connect it at this point, scroll a little down. So I'll be connecting it between these two DC sources. So take the tapping and connect it between these 2 points. Again, where should the other one go? So we've started from this point, upper bridge, first half bridge of the upper leg. So with respect to the last bridge that is there with respect to lower leg, we'll be connecting. And where do we connect it? So carefully observe this. I'll be taking the tapping from this point and I'll be going up and to the point where I can find the tapping. So I am giving it to the DC voltage source in this particular fashion. So I hope the connection points are understood. Now again I have to connect a resistor. Before that I have to connect one more combination of the network. So again, from lowermost, you can call it as a chopper cell or the bridge of the upper leg to the uppermost lower of the lower bridge. So uppermost in the sense from this point, from the center point that is there from this point. So I'll be taking a tapping. I'll go right at the bottom So you can go it in this, you can move this in this particular fashion because there is a lot of networks here. So be very careful with respect to it, and I'll be connecting it to the lower end in this particular fashion. So now once we have connected these between these 2 points, now I have to measure the output across the load. So where do we connect the load? So at the first place, search for series RLC branch, and you'll be getting a branch over here. Add this block, and later on we'll be converting into a resistor according to our requirement. So I'll be connecting it between the points, that is I'll be showing that. So choose the value, let us choose a large value of resistances, so to be equal to 10,000 ohms, and I'll be connecting it between this point, and I'll be giving it to the other point over here, that is with respect to the voltage source, the midpoint between the two voltage source. That is, if you carefully observe, this is the midpoint, and I'll be connecting here. We also need a ground with respect to the circuit, so search for ground and you will be getting it right away. You have to distinguish it. So we will be using a ground, this is the ground that we'll have to use. There are a lot of grounds, like you have electrical reference, this is with respect to blue. You have ground with respect to RF signal, so be very careful while choosing them. In Simscape you have to choose ground, so add this block as well. So once ground is added, you have to visually find it because it's a very big circuit, isn't it? So connect it at this point to the supply. So once this is done, we have connected all the blocks and we have given the values also with respect to it. So what we have to do is change it to discrete system, otherwise you'll be getting an error because there are a lot of evaluation needs to be done, and for that it will be throwing you an error right away if you're doing it in continuous. So we'll be changing it to discrete, and we have entered all the values. Now we can set the simulation time to be equal to 1 second, but before that we need a voltage measurement block and scope in order to measure the output voltage and see that using a scope. Add the voltage measurement block, and we will also be requiring a scope. So select this and type in scope, search for it, and you'll be getting this block. So once this is done, I'll be connecting the blocks, the voltage measurement block that is between the load resistor in this particular fashion, and I'll be giving it to the scope. So scope is the place where we can see the output waveform. It is just an oscilloscope. So once this is done, now let us click on run simulation. So let us see if our model is running, there is no errors and there will be no issues with the circuit. So it does take some time to simulate. So once this is done, let us double click on the scope in order to see the output waveform. So we are getting the right nature of output waveform if you carefully observe. So this is the levels of output voltage that we have wanted, and we are exactly getting the same amount of the output voltage that we wanted. So we are supplying 100-volt DC, and that is between positive and negative, it is available. So this is basically an AC waveform if you carefully observe. So you can smoothen this further by having multiple steps, again more than 9 you can design the circuit for. So you will approximately get a sinusoidal waveform. So based on the levels, the harmonics goes on decreasing as it completely looks like a sinusoidal waveform. So you can use this window and have the complete waveform seen in this particular fashion. It looks like a sinusoidal wave, isn't it? So that is the reason why you will be getting multi-level inverter output at this point in time. I hope you were able to simulate this circuit on your own. So in case you have any questions, feel free to reach out by typing in your questions in the comment section below. If you like this video, please do like it, share it, and subscribe to our channel for regular updates. Thanks for watching this video. Meet you guys in another video. Thank you.